My name is Anastasia Vasilieva. I'm a doctor and chief of Medical Alliance of Doctors, medical trade union. We're trying now to support doctors and medical workers in Russia. Aleksey Navalny helped me to develop our trade union. I have met him in 2017 when someone pushed in his eye acid. The damage of the eye was really very serious. He really can lose his eye. And then the administration of my mother's hospital kicked out a lot of medical workers, and among them was my mother. My mother also a doctor. Aleksey Navalny helped my mother to return to the work with the judge and with his lawyers. Then I understood that a lot of medical workers all over Russia had similar problems. I decided to make the trade union of medical workers, and Aleksey helped me. And then he was poisoned in the prison one time, and I tried also to help him. Everyone in the world knows about the murder attempt. It's a really very terrible situation. I and my colleagues understood that that was the real attempt to kill him with a chemical substance. And the last moment in Russia, in March and April, it was really a very strange situation for all doctors in Russia and all over the world when our patient has problems with the health, serious problems, but nobody among doctors, among medical workers in prison didn't help. Patient, he has a real pain, terrible pain, but they said it's okay to have an opportunity to be treated in the hospital. He should make a hunger strike. Of course, I and my colleagues did everything to help him. We spent about 3 days close to his prison after our visiting. They put him into the hospital, and now he feels much better. I was trying to be at home at the 8 p.m. But policemen and some other bad people, they didn't want me to come back at this time. So I was late. And now they just want to put me in the prison because they said that I violated the restrictions. They just want me to be in prison.
Pretty much all of Aleksey Navalny's colleagues and allies are under some sort of restrictions, either under home arrest or have certain times where they can't leave their house or in jail. And so there are this mass repressions in Russia right now. Why do you think this is happening right now? Is it connected with the elections to the state Duma that are planned for September 2021?
I don't know the real reason. I think that maybe Putin looked at the Belarus and the Lukashenko, and maybe he looked at another country when also the dictator is. Maybe he and his officials are afraid of elections, and they understand that they can lose these elections. One more reason, I think, that in the country, everybody now understands that we have some problems with the economics, with the medicine, with education, with the transport. A lot of people understand that 10 years ago, it was the same that now. Putin and his officials every year, they were promising that the next year we will do. And I think that they understand now that the minds are changing now. The pandemic and the situation with medicine and the great deficit of medical workers lead to a lot of deaths, and the absence of the medicines, of places in hospitals also make these changes. Putin understands that he is not very popular in Russia now, and his popularity is really decreasing. They don't want me and Aleksey Navalny and his people to change country.
Navalny Live channel has shared an opinion that the best way to liberate Aleksey Navalny is to win at these coming elections. My question is, how is it possible to win if the whole control of the situation is in the Kremlin's hands? Will they allow for the so-called smart voting that Aleksey Navalny has suggested last year? Or is it even possible to confront the system?
I think that it is impossible, really. The whole situation is in the hands of Kremlin and Putin, but only way now to make some changes. Now, Aleksey Navalny's system of clever voting, even if the clever election wins, I don't think that this fact can really lead to some great changes in Russian politics, because Putin and his officials, they are really very, very strong. They had a lot of money, a lot of power in their hands. But the hope should be in our hearts, in our minds.
There is a manipulation of the election that was very popular the last few cycles, the so-called locomotive move, when some more or less popular candidates are being pushed, and when they win, they are forced to leave, and then people loyal to Putin and to the Kremlin are taking over their seats. With that kind of manipulation, it's probably not realistic to see this change anytime soon.
I agree with you. I can't really imagine how, even if these people win, what they can do, because they will be one among 100 Putin officials. We will not have any observers and foreign observers during this election. They banned the video observation. They will do everything they want, and they will have the result of election as they want, so, like in Belarus. What to do with this? I don't know really. I think that we can only now wait and see what will be. Maybe we will understand the next time what to do to change the situation. But now it's very, very difficult. My colleagues in the Alliance of Doctors, we are not afraid. We understand everything, and we will fight. We will do everything to save our country and our medicine. But a lot of people in Russia, they are afraid. They are looking at me, at Lyubov Sobol, at Oleg Navalny, and they're afraid because they all have children and parents and just want to live, not to be in prison, but to live. Great, great fear, Putin's fear, like oncology all over the country, and people sitting at home and they are frightened of, and they have a fear in their mind that Putin will put them in the prison. That's why a lot of people in Russia don't want to do any strong actions against the Putin's power and his government. They understand, but they're afraid.
So many of your friends and colleagues are either in prison or awaiting a trial. There are many mass media outlets that are now being closed, or they have to close because they've been pronounced the foreign agents with all the consequences. It looks like soon the only way to read independent media would be by installing the VPN, which for many is not an option. In this situation, how do you maintain your presence of mind and your courage and your determination? What moves you? I think it's one of the questions that I hear so much when people ask me about what's happening with the opposition and the repressions in Russia. How do people like you keep going? What motivates you?
I really believe in things that I am doing now and my colleagues do now in the Alliance of Doctors. I should support medical workers. I believe that the kindness, the justice will win. I don't know when. I can't really be afraid of anything, because I'm like an example for a lot of people. I really love my country, and I really love the people. I really want very, very much to make them happy and to give them such things that Putin and his officials have stolen from these people, wealth of our country. They should belong to people of our country. Imagine, I will say, okay, I will go away. I will go to the USA. I want to be safe. What should do other people? That's why I'm living here. I will fight until I'm alive. And I hope that in some time, maybe we will change the country, will win. Maybe I don't know how. I don't know really. I don't know now. I cannot really imagine these changes. How it should be. We will wait. We will hope. We will work, and we will wait for some changes in Russia.
What can we do to help? There are many communities there, the Russian-speaking diaspora, people who left, like myself, long time ago, but want to help. There are Western people who are very compassionate with the struggle and suffering of the Russian opposition and would love to do anything or something to help. But it's not quite clear what is a safe or efficient thing to do. What would you recommend that we could do?
You are very right. It's not very safe to ask any help from the West, because that my organization, they say that we have some money from the West. We need money. After our site was blocked, we have no money to pay the salary to our lawyers, to the medical workers that are fighting for the medicine in Russia. But we can't have any money from the West. It's a pity, but really we can't. I don't want to say that sanctions for the politics and for the officials, they can help, because I don't want to do any bad things to anybody. I think that we should do only good things. Maybe the foreign journalists can make some material, video material, maybe some articles about the situation in Russia. You can explain the situation and explain the problems to the people in Europe, in USA.
На интернете получила широкое распространение видео, на котором Анастасия на фортепиано играет Бетховена в момент, когда ее квартира обыскивается.